on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting Ask Nick edition of the Viall Files. I'm your host, Nick, joined by Allie and Amanda. Ladies, how are you? What's going on? What's new? What's cooking? How's life?
I was supposed to come up with a different adjective every time. I didn't even prep. Now I'm overwhelmed.
Okay, wait,
Allie's okay. She's fine.
I'll provide an update. You can think of the adjective.
Oh God.
I've been during when the pandemic first started, I began learning German with my best friends as a bit because we thought it would be very funny if we could just like gossip in German, basically. And my grandfather was born in Germany, left for Nazi reasons. You can cut that out if you want. But he speaks.
Why?
I don't know.
Part of his history.
Part of his history. To be clear, he's Jewish, not the other side.
Your grandfather's not a Nazi.
Yes,
Nazi
I'm saying
reasons.
my grandfather is persecuted by Nazis, is a Nazi. But he was always really proud to be an American. He speaks so many languages, but his English is like flawless, so never really engaged with the other ones. But he caught wind that I was learning German, and so we started doing Zoom lessons in German.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like the kind of thing we did for a few months. We've been doing it for 2 years now, like very dedicated. And recently,
Like, how good are you now?
you know,
Do you know Andrew speaks a little?
yeah, I said that to him.
Yeah.
They spoke.
I was
in it.
like,
I sat here in silence.
I think so. We have this like ebook that we tend to go through. And so I feel like I'm learning the grammar. I'm still gaining comfort with some of the more like conversational things. But it's just been like very cool. Like, because my grandfather's like 97 now. And so it's just been like so special having this time with him. And now he knows, he asks me if I've like ein Mann, which is like if I have a man in my life. And so one day I'll be able to talk love life in German.
Awesome. That's amazing.
We had cupcakes yesterday. Our lovely producer, Shanti, brought us Valentine's Day cupcakes and she sent me home with them. So I took it upon myself. I was like, I'm going to be a very friendly neighbor person in my apartment complex.
You
So
handed out cupcakes?
yeah, because
Okay.
I thought it would be nice to like spread joy and love. So I brought one to the girl who lives across the hall from me. And then there was this guy that I met on our rooftop a few weeks ago. He printed something for me because I don't have a printer. So like we've just like, texted a couple times and he seemed really nice. And I was like, oh, are you home? I'll bring you a cupcake. And he was like, yeah, I'm like getting ready for like the work week, but I'll like come get it. He was like, I'm going to come pick it up. And like hours went by. And then he like thought that I was going to, I don't even know. He was like, I was waiting on you to text me. I was like, you said you were going to come pick it up. And then I was like, is this a cupcake or is this a cupcake? Because now it's 9:30. It was not great. And I just kind of ended up being like, oh, it's late. I need to get ready for work tomorrow. And like nothing happened. And I was very proud of that because I think a younger Allie would have been like, look at this man in my apartment. It is Valentine's Day.
You would have just gone for it.
Probably. But
Also,
I realized he was not worth my time.
Well, the thing you said that is so you were
It's
like,
kind of
he
like, well, you're here.
Well, I think like me in college probably definitely would have done that.
Okay.
but also you said he talked like a TED talk.
Oh my God, he did.
wait,
it was like,
there were some like crazy quotes.
it was like he talked with like a bravado or like a TED talk. And he also kept like nudging me and like using my name. So he'd be like, you know what, Allison? I came out here with my savings. I didn't need this job. I wanted this job, Allison. I wanted it. Like, and it was just this. And I literally said it to him at one point. I was like, you speak so deliberately. It's as if you're speaking in a TED talk.
it's as if you're
it's an
reading a
earnest guy.
script of what
And
you
he
think
was-
you should say.
And I was like, you speak like you're delivering a TED talk. And he goes, I've never once been disingenuous, Allison. I am who I am.
Anytime a guy says that the first time you
Red
were hanging
flag.
out with him, like that is an issue.
We gotta go. And I was like, I gotta go to bed, whatever. We each had one glass of wine. And by the time he got upstairs, I don't know if he drank more or if he was already drunk when he got to my apartment, but he texted me, Happy New Year's Eve. Thanks for the cupcake. And then he sent asterisk Valentine's Day. Like he didn't know what holiday it was. That was my Valentine's Day.
Glad you're safe.
Thank you.
Finding doctors, not easy to do. And then you're like, you don't know if they fit your insurance or how long the wait is or if you can trust them. Or what if there was a place you could go? You can, and it's called ZocDoc. No one knows what you're looking for in a doctor better than you. And no one's better at giving you the tools to find the perfect doctor than ZocDoc. The people who created ZocDoc found the major pain points in healthcare, all the things that weren't working. And they said, enough. We have to get these patients what the doctors they really need and have it be pain-free, have it be easy and simple, so you can worry about other things like, are people liking your Instagram posts? Find and booking a doctor who's right for you doesn't need to be a terrible experience. There are some amazing doctors out there, but really the ones that matter are the ones that actually can take your insurance, that can work with you, that you can get in. And ZocDoc helps you do that super easily. And whatever type of doctor you're looking for, ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. Go to ZocDoc.com/VIALL and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/VIALL. ZocDoc.com/VIALL. Yeah, who wants bad breath and bad gums? You don't want like bloody gums on a date. Floss.
But gum health, it's something we need to talk about more.
Cocoa floss. That sounds fun. Do I even need to say more?
Hot girls floss is what I will say. Hot girls floss. And cocoa floss is like, why not make your floss like a little bit fun?
I mean, it's so pretty. Fresh coconut, delicious mint. They come in little pouches you can carry with you on the road. Just like you get, go out to
You're
lunch.
on a date. You have something in your teeth.
Typical floss glides over plaque while cocoa floss captures it. Non-toxins and eco-friendly, free of parabens and other toxic elements that are often traditionally found in regular dental floss. Over 1,000 five-star reviews and voted dentist favorite floss. Avoid mask breath by flossing daily. Go to cocofloss.me/VIALL to get 20% off your 4-spool set and free shipping. This 4-spool set is so cool. It's so pretty. That's cocofloss.me/VIALL. And the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. All orders over $20, you get free shipping in the U.S. We have a great episode for you. We'll get to these fantastic callers in moments. We have an amazing week lined up for you. The one, the only, Megan Trainor and her brother Ryan Trainor are with us on Wednesday for our Going Deeper episodes. We're calling them Going Deeper now. That includes talking with Megan about life, pop culture, what she's into. I've been trying to get her brother back on the dating apps and fall in love. He's been off them. Megan obviously is wonderfully married with a new beautiful baby boy. And we'll talk about life with them, as well as do a mediation call with Megan Trainor. If you want Megan Trainor to help me mediate a fight with you and a friend, a boyfriend, a husband, a fiance, a coworker, write us in about a fight that you're having. If you haven't listened to our mediation calls on our Wednesday episodes, check it out. If you're an Ask Nick fan, you will love it. If you haven't listened to them, and we don't really take sides. Everyone so far, it's been kind of how each side can see the other.
It's collaborative, not
it's collaborative.
competitive.
It's truly mediation. This is not Judge Nick, or this is not like
As someone recommended, the Viall trials.
Yeah, this is not a trial.
Not the Viall trials.
We're not. Let your boyfriend, fiance, husband know that we are not going to be putting them on blast. But Megan Trainor can tell you what's up with your relationship, or maybe give you a helpful tidbit. So write us in at asknick@castme.com, cast with a K. Obviously, for our Ask Nick questions, we need those. For our batch recap tomorrow, we have the very wonderful Mariel Molino, who is a budding star on ABC. More importantly, she's a huge Bachelor fan, and she'll be with us tonight, tomorrow, to recap another episode of The Bachelor. So big weeks ahead. Subscribe, tell your friends, review. We appreciate you. Let's get to our callers.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
Hey, I'm Taylor. I'm 29. And I'm Marie, and I'm also 29.
All right. Taylor and Marie. Not a mediation call, but you guys are calling in to talk some shit. What's going on?
I mean, maybe just a little bit, not much.
All right. How can I help?
We have a friend. We'll call her Ashley. She has recently started dating this guy. They've been together. I think it's been 6 weeks. We don't know, because we find things out whenever she decides to tell us that she wants to share for the day.
Uh-huh.
It all started back mid-November. a few of us were out at a bar and we wanted her to come with us. And she was like, I've been drinking all day at this party with some coworkers. Like, I just can't drive. Like, I'm sorry. And we're like, no, understand. Like, we want you to be safe. The bar is 45 minutes from where we live. We're like, don't even try. So we're having fun, having a good time. Later in the night, we get a text from her freaking out because this guy that she works with is at this party. And she's like, he just kissed me in front of like all our friends here. And we're like, whoa, because she's not really a PDA person. So we were like, I can't believe she let him kiss her. Like, we're like, dude, like, we hate that for you. Like, I can't believe you would like disrespect your boundaries, whatever. And she's like, well, I'm really worried
it wasn't
because...
there wasn't a chance it was like a nice like rom-com moment. She wasn't excited. Is
No.
this the guy who she's been dating?
Yeah, this is the guy she's dating.
Okay.
But they had known each other for like 7 days at this point. So they're like have just been introduced. So she starts freaking out, not because he kissed her, but because a friend of hers also liked him. And she was
How old is this girl?
worried. 20, I think she's 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not 16.
Yeah. No, she's 26. So she's freaking out about, she's like, Jessica's gonna, also a fake name. She's like, Jessica's gonna hate me. Like, she likes him. Like, what do I do? And we're like, you just tell her. We're old. We're in our 20s. Like, tell her it'll be fine. So she tells her, and Jessica goes, oh, haha, like, it's totally fine. He called me, basically trying to get me to come over later tonight because you had already told him you didn't like want to hang out with him. Like, he was mad about that. So, like, I don't know. It was weird.
Savage.
Whatever. Yeah. So, like, we tell Ashley, we're like, dude, he's slimy, scummy. Don't do it. Like, no, he's just already giving red flags. Like, just cut your losses with this. Like, doesn't seem like a good guy. So the next morning we decide, hey, let's check in. We put her in a group message and we're like, hey, how you feeling?
She's in
She
bed
goes,
with him.
I'm fine. He's at my house watching basketball. And we were just like shook, like sheer confusion. I replied and said, interesting, and left it at that. And then we just kind of had our side conversations because we just were like, dude, like, what is going on? But we didn't really hear about him. Taylor had talked to another friend of ours kind of about the situation.
Yeah. So I asked one of our other friends because the other friend is better friends than I am. And so I was like, hey, what has she said? What's going on? Has she given you any other information? Just because like, we're all just worried because we've all had life experiences with relationships and we've had our fair share of heartbreak and just kind of guys having major red flags. And we see that stuff as outsiders from this situation. And we just want her to be aware because she's never had a boyfriend. It's crazy. So I was like, what has she said? And she said, like, our friend said that she gave her like what she has seen for red flags and what her concerns are. And our friend just doesn't care, basically. And another guy that she dated previously for like 3 dates, she brought him around and he was really sweet, but he wanted to be boyfriend and girlfriend like after the 3rd date, which good for him for being open about that. But I think that scared her a little bit. And the other thing that she decided to end ties with about that guy is that he didn't go to church. And she's very much going to church. She, really loves doing that. And she has these boundaries that she has set for herself. And then all of a sudden with this guy, those boundaries and those things that she really wants in a guy are just out the window now. So it's just really odd to us that all of a sudden you have none of these things that you want in this guy, like are already, like you're just ready to be with this guy at all times.
Yeah, she literally, we never heard about him for a solid 3-4 weeks. And she came into my office at work one day right after Thanksgiving and was like, so we've been hanging out every day for the last 3 weeks. And I was like, I am so confused. Like, why have we not heard about this? But, right? I mean, I guess, but it was...
You warned her about a guy. She didn't take your advice because she wants to feel special, because just because it happened to everyone else doesn't mean it's going to happen to me because I'm special. And we all do that. Like, I'm sure you guys, in a perfect world, we'd all learn from other people's mistakes. But I mean, it's not a perfect world, and we very rarely do. You know, the people who are willing to learn from other people's mistakes definitely like have a head start on everyone else. But most of us were ego-driven maniacs who like think think we are special, want to prove to ourselves that we are special and we can be different. And she's going to have to learn the hard way, most likely, right? I mean, at some point, this guy's going to most likely break her heart. Sounds like she's confusing her non-negotiables with her pet peeves. You know, like, yeah, religion is a legitimate non-negotiable, but like, so is like high character. But like character is harder to like distinguish, and people can lie and manipulate, and you can look the other way, and you can have rose-colored glasses on. Whereas it's like, oh yeah, I don't really go to church. You know, and she'd be like, oh, well, I can't date you. Meanwhile, like, it really probably has less to do with the church. It has more to do with the fact that he was like, I'm available. I'm here. You don't have to chase me. That didn't make her feel special. That made her feel like, why are you so easy to get? You know?
Yeah, I think that is definitely something that we've thought about too. She made a comment once to us that in high school, she was always the girl who had crushes on these guys, but the guys didn't choose her. Like, they chose her other friends. And now she's the one who got chosen. Like, there was this other girl in the picture, and she got chosen.
Yeah. She feels like a winner.
That's exactly what like we have said all along. And I guess we just wanted to come on because we wanted your advice, because I mean, it's one of the best advice.
As long as she's safe, you know, like,
well, we don't know, because we like after she came to my office, 2 weeks later, she just in a group chat, I have a boyfriend, LOL. Like, that was the text.
Sure, but
I have a boyfriend, LOL.
I mean, he might be a fuckboy and a douchebag, but there's no real reason to think that her safety is in danger, right? Like, sort of a broken heart.
I guess she won't introduce any of us to him.
Because
like,
you've made her feel like you're going to judge her. So the best thing you guys can do is to keep your mouth shut. Don't give her the eye rolls or the side eyes or your comments or your huffs and puffs, and be very mindful of your body language and your nonverbal cues and your verbal cues on what you say to her, because none of it's going to work. All it's going to do is have her become more secretive, and she will isolate herself with this guy. And then if he is a douchebag, or let's say he turns out to be a bad guy or a dangerous guy, then she will be in more danger, because she'll have isolated herself for fear of judgment with her friends. You're not going to change her mind. You tried to do the thing. You tried to warn her, and all you can do is keep her close and wait for her to get her heart broken. And when she does, you don't say, I told her so. You know, you don't say, oh, we warned you. You just say, I'm sorry. And, you know, and you know, after a while, she's like, I don't understand. Then you're just like, hey, I just respectfully, you know, we did, you know, there's this podcast you should listen to, or whatever the fuck. But in the short term, you just support her and let her. Yeah. She's actively said, I prefer to learn the hard way. So let her. It's her choice. Fit on. Hey, who wants to get the fit on with Fit On? Hey, listen, here's what I love about Fit On. You don't really need any weights. You can do it anywhere, literally anywhere. You can do it waiting at the airport. Your flight delayed, get your Fit On. Sitting in your hotel room, get your Fit On. And you can do it with amazing world-class trainers and your favorite celebrities like Gabrielle Union, Lindsey Vonn, Julianne Hough, and more. Or trainers like Casey Ho, Jeanette Jenkins. No equipment or gym membership required. No excuses. Do it on your phone, laptop, or TV, your girlfriend's phone. Doesn't really matter. They have HIIT classes, strength training, toning, kickboxing, yoga, Pilates, bar classes, and more. You'll never get bored. You can customize workout plans based off your fitness goals. Join over the 10 million people getting their Fit On workout for free anytime, anywhere. Text FILES, that's files, to 64,000 to join Fit On for free. Text Files to 64,000. That's FILES 64,000.
I guess it's been hard for us because we're such a friend group that is so incredibly open about who we're dating, what just everything we're doing. I mean, I'm the only one in the group besides her that has a boyfriend, and he met my friends literally after our second date.
So
I was
she's
like,
never going to listen to
have,
you.
Probably. Well,
you never listen to the person who might have something to say, because what you are is like she's competing, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys are all friends, but there's always a little bit of competition. There's always a little bit of ego. Really, all you can do is just keep an eye on things and support her and not try to be right. Just be there for her if it doesn't work out. And also, who knows? Like, we don't know much about this guy, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
No,
we know we know where he works.
Yeah, yeah.
We know his first name. And
that's it.
It isn't. I agree. It's probably not likely, but it is possible that that was a douchebag moment, and maybe this other girl also exaggerated because she felt a little kind of wronged as well. So she tried to, kind of stick a jab because she felt like invalidated. So she was like, no, you know what? Fuck you. He wanted to fuck me first. Nah, nah, nah. I was like, okay, congrats. But people weirdly say shit like that. But we don't really know. So it's entirely possible, even if he did that he was a douchebag, but then realized he really liked your friend. And maybe he was like, God, honestly, I was trying to have my cake and eat it too that night. I was definitely being a fuckboy that night, for sure. But I like you. I've had that. I've had that happen where you go to a party and you're just like, there's one girl I'm vibing with, and oh my, there's another girl I'm vibing with. Oh, yay for me! And then, I'm out there just vibing, and I'm single. Like, why not? And then you realize, wait, I like this person. And you're just like, I guess that was if I was watching myself on a TV, I'd be like, that's kind of a douchebag, fuckboy energy, So it's entirely possible. Again, more likely that she'll end up being disappointed because it seems like she's making all the wrong choices in terms of like how she's valuing her decisions. But either way, you've done your part as a friend. You gave her the heads up. Now judging her, talking behind her back, making her feel like she's gonna, she has something coming to her, like, it doesn't do her any good. And as long as she's safe, we have no reason to think she's not, then just be her friend. And ask her more questions. What you should do to get back in her good graces is be like, oh, like how things going? Really, are you happy? I'm really happy for you. Tell us more about him. Because right now she doesn't feel like it's safe to do that. So she doesn't.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about that, how like we kind of realized like, well, we don't really ask. And it's like, do we think she's going to tell us, or do we not care enough?
Pretend to care.
And I think it's okay.
It's not that we don't care about her. Like, we definitely care about her. It's just
pretend to care about the relationship. Be willing to be wrong, because you might be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even if you are right, there's no point in her isolating herself. Listen, she's not the first person who chose validation over like all the right advice. She's not the first person who wanted to learn the hard way. That's the norm. And being a friend isn't being right. It's just being there for your friends when they make bad decisions, and you have their back, and you're like, all right, well, let's get through it together. That's being a friend, So that's what I would do.
Well, and we've talked about that. And even the other night, I said, I really hope that it works out for her. I hope that year, 2 years, 3 years from now, we can all look back and she's completely happy in this relationship. And it's everything that she's ever hoped for and wanted. And that we look like the assholes
Yeah.
You know,
but
that,
also,
like,
you guys probably can both admit that there's a part of you, like, and we all have egos. As someone who gives advice, I love it when people like call me and be like, hey, you were right,
oh, for
But-
sure. I mean,
Yeah.
But so like, there's that part of you, even though that's the right thing to say and feel, there's a part of you
Yeah.
that kind of like
Oh.
hopes it crashes and burns. So you can be like,
Oh,
we fucking
yes.
told you,
Absolutely.
bitch.
I'm
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. I'm not.
I'm like, oh, I love her, but I'm also like, if this relationship could just
Yeah. So
end, and not like,
just be mindful. It doesn't matter. The point is, just be there for her. This probably won't be her last boyfriend. It probably won't be her last bad decision. You guys will make ego-driven decisions in the future. You will ignore good advice in the future as well. And you want your friends, despite your poor choices, to not judge you and say, I told you so, or wish you like negative things to happen. And so that's, as someone who's not invested, that's 100% what you should do.
Okay, how do we support her if she gets a new job and she moves and he moves with her?
Same way. I mean, she's
Okay.
an adult.
Yeah.
okay. Because that's very likely. That was the last bombshell was, oh, I applied for this job and he's going to come with me. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
And
Well,
I
at least it's
tried.
her job and she's not moving for him. At least it's the other way around.
That's true.
That's true. So
you're
we
just-
were kind of being bitches, but not completely.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
You
That's
know.
what we were worried about.
It's fine.
We were like,
If she
I think
asks
we're
you
kind of being-
questions, be like, oh, do you think this is crazy? Don't like, oh my God, yes, it's crazy. Like, don't like, just be like, hey, listen, I don't know. You're just, say something I would say. Hey, it's fast. It's early. You don't know how, like, anything's possible. He could be your guy. You don't know. I just, it's probably going to be great, but like, just, you don't want to move and be alone and be heartbroken either.
Yeah, I told her, I was like, because she's really unhappy in her current job, which is why she's looking. And I was like, look, you put your happiness first. If he doesn't want to go, don't let that be your decision maker, because you're still going to be unhappy. And I was trying to be like, I don't want to tell you shouldn't live with him. So how can I say it without saying
it's not your
it?
business. It's not your business.
Yeah. We were afraid you were going to say that.
Yep.
I mean,
We were like,
has
"Man, we
anyone
listened to a
not
lot."
moved in with someone because their friend told them not to? I mean, come on.
Probably not. I'm sure most people are like, yeah, you're telling me no, but I think we've all, like, I know there are times my friends have been like, you should stop talking to that guy. And I'm like, watch me. I'm going to continue. Even though I know you're right, I'm going to continue to do this. I think we're overprotective because it's her first boyfriend. I think that's why we're just like, it's your first one. I think we're just being overprotective.
In a perfect
it's
world,
coming
she'd love
off.
to learn from other people who have dated before her, but all she is the norm right now of wanting to figure it out for herself. And you just let her know whatever happens, we got your back and we'll be there for you.
Yeah.
And we're glad you're happy. Relationships change. Your boyfriend could break up with you tomorrow.
Oh, please don't say that.
I hope not. We're moving in together in a month.
I'm just saying, you don't know. My point is that you're sitting there
It's-
judging your friend and this guy who you barely know, being like, I'm all secure. Like, shit changes. Life changes. You just don't know. So just be careful how much you're judging people and just, be there for her and see how it goes.
We can
Yeah,
definitely do that.
We can do that. We
All
can
right.
do that.
Okay. Well, best of luck and congrats on your love and happiness. And I hope the move-in is wonderful and glorious.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Nick.
Take care, ladies.
Thanks, Nick.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. I'm Nicole and I'm 23.
How can I help, Nicole?
Okay, so I recently, over the holidays, reconnected with a guy that I grew up going to church with. It's going really great. We've known each other for so long, so
Nice.
starting off the bat, really good. The problem is kind of twofold, though, just because we grew up together and went to church together. I have 20 years of his dating history that I know about, which involves several of my close church friends growing up. We're not close anymore, but I did know them, and they would always talk to me about him when we were younger, like, oh, this guy is talking to 5 girls at the same time, or, oh, he's leading me on, whatever. So I guess kind of my question is it okay to date someone or see where things go with someone that I have history or know like their dating history and have been friends with their exes? And should I be like cognizant of these red flags from 10 years ago, I guess, like his 15-year-old self's 10 red flags?
Yeah, I mean, he's 15 when this happened.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's different. He's still young. I mean,
Do you think
every 23-year-old guy has fuckboy in him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think it's fair to like go ahead and pursue things knowing like these were really close friends of mine? They're not close friends anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I don't know how many high school people listen to this podcast, but high school doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When it comes to your adult love life. It's just insignificant. I mean, if you're lucky enough, you got a broken heart in high school and you dealt with your first broken heart in high school because that taught you a little bit about, loss and moving on. And, but other than that, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Do you think I need to reach out to them and
you don't
say
even talk to
something?
them? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, other than like, were you worrying about them gossip? I mean, who gives a shit? You're not even friends with them. Who cares?
Yeah, that's fair. I think part of me is like really worried because I was always telling these friends, oh, just block him and move on. And like, he's trash.
Have you
he's
talked
not a
to
good
him
person.
about this? Like,
I have. I have.
It's, you could do this playfully too. Be like, I don't know. You're kind of a player at 15.
Yeah, I have. And he's said like similar things like, oh, well, I heard some stuff about you when you were 15. Like you dated one of my friends when you were 15. So
wait, that was his response? It wasn't an acknowledgement of his behavior?
I mean, I think it was kind of like joking back, but yeah, we have discussed like.
But has he acknowledged any behavior that he would do differently as an adult now?
Yeah, and we've talked about like those 3 individual relationships seriously and been like, I was like, hey, like I heard this happened with this person, and he's like, yeah, like I really screwed up with that one, and I was being 16-year-old boy, and I was dumb, but that's not who I am now. And I just don't want to fall victim to the sweet talk,
So take it slow.
Yeah.
All right. What does the next step look like for you?
I don't know. He has been like pretty adamant that we start a relationship. And I guess just with all of my like concerns, I feel a little hesitant to like just jump right into a relationship. We have known each other for so long, I get it.
What does a relationship mean to you right now?
Maybe I need to figure that out. But I think like, talking and communicating and being there for each other and supporting each other. But yeah, that's what we've been doing is like we text all day and then, have like a phone call at night and kind of catch up about our highs and lows of the day and different things like that. So it's been really good.
Are you talking to other guys?
Not as seriously as this.
But you are?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
I guess my point is, the reason why I asked is like, feel like you are or not, like, what's so hard about not talking to these other guys that aren't that serious, right? And saying to him, listen, we like each other. I like you. I like you. You want to start a relationship? Whatever. I don't know what that means. We can call each other whatever we want. Boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm willing to only talk to you. I'm gonna stop talking to these other guys because I want to get to know you better. But I still think we should take it slow, and set some boundaries.
Yeah.
You don't have to meet each other. I mean, maybe you guys already know each other's families because you kind of grew up in the same church and shit, but
yeah.
You can still take it slow, I want to take it slow. I want to get to know you. I mean, I think everyone should do that.
Yeah.
And you guys shouldn't be like saying I love you in the first 2 months or 3 months or whatever. Just take it slow.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever. If you didn't know this guy at 15 or whatever and didn't have all these like red flags and concerns, you'd probably start dating him. And
yeah, that's true.
But that wouldn't change who he was. And if you don't date this guy, the other guys you're kind of talking to, but not really. There's some girls who are 15 who think they're fuckboys. You know what I'm saying? So, so whoever you start dating, just take it slow. You know, take it slow with expectations. Be careful not to start planning shit.
Yeah.
You know, other than being like, yeah, I want to get married someday. That's, maybe ring shopping or house playing or, it's okay to like, oh, I'd love to spend the night with you. Okay, you spend the night, but I don't need to spend 5 nights with you.
Right.
Even though I want to. Of course I'd want to.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to.
Yeah.
And then pay attention. Pay attention to how he acts and pay attention to how he responds to you saying no to whatever. No to you spending time with your friends, no to really literally anything. Can this young man respect the fact that you have other priorities in your life?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what are your other priorities in your life right now?
I'm in school right now, so just finishing that up, big priority for me.
And then what's next for you?
And then law school is my plan. So
law school.
That's another big.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a lot of individual plans.
Yeah.
So does he know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does he think about that?
He's been so supportive of it. Like, how can I be there for you? Do you need help with applications or deciding? Like, let's talk about pros and cons for these places. Like, been super supportive.
Well, what you could say is just like, where I need your help if we date is like, I don't know if I really need your help until I ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you want to ask for help, but like he wants to, that's almost like a way of like him inserting himself into your life. Like, you need me. You don't fucking need him. Like, if you don't date this guy, you're still going to go to law school.
Right.
What I need for you is to like be cool with knowing that I have a lot of other priorities. And so if we date, like, I need to know that you're mature enough to handle that. I need to know that you're mature enough to take things slow with me.
Yeah.
And by slow means like you might you should say to him, there's gonna come a time where you could feel a little bit insecure with all the things I have going on in my life, and I need to know that you're man enough to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should say that to him. It's true.
Okay.
You should say it to him. I'm really curious how he would respond.
Yeah.
And the appropriate response would be like, yeah, I could see myself, I want to be. I know that, but I do respect, and I think it's awesome that you're doing these things. And if you need my help, great, but you probably don't, because you don't need help.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Anything I could do? So yeah, just take it slow. I mean, if you like them, date them. And I say this, it probably won't work out. And I said, and that should make you feel good. Free. There's no pressure. Try it out. If it gets in the way of your personal goals, break up with him. And he's just an ex-boyfriend. If literally the other day I was, I'm older, right? I've had some serious relationships. I had a handful of very serious relationships. I mean, not counting any Bachelor Nation bullshit, there are 3 women in my life from my past long ago that, I've played like for those couple of years were pivotal in my life. And I was thinking the other day of how crazy it is how I know nothing about them anymore. They don't mean anything to me anymore. Nothing. I mean, as a people, I care about them. I hope they're well. But when I think about how big of a deal they played in my life and how little they matter now, it's kind of wild to me. But I only have that now. I only have that, that perspective because I've lived through it. So, you're going to go on this journey with this guy. I don't know if it's going to work out, but if it doesn't, you will be fine. So don't try to avoid, figuring it out. All right.
All right. Guess I'll put all my eggs in one basket for now.
Well, You know, kind of. You put in your dating basket, sure. But at any point, you can pull out. You know? Just because you're like commit to them, you can change your mind in a week, a day, 2 weeks. People make this mistake. It's just like, oh, well, fine, you're going to be my boyfriend. So now I have to date you for at least a year. No. Like, you could tell them, like, we can, fine. If you want to do this, this is called probation. I'm not going to date other people. You can call us what you want, but I can promise you, and I expect the same from you, that I'm only going to date you. I'm only going to hook up with you. I'm going to get off the apps, and I'm going to prioritize getting to know you. And if you are down to do the same, give me the same respect, I'm down to do that. And we'll see where it goes. And we'll call this probation. And let's not put added pressure on ourselves. Let's not try to all of a sudden play house or, you know, be my law school coach or mentor. Like that. Just be kind to me. Treat me with respect. Respect it. Give me space when I need it. I'll give you space. Let's be there for each other. Let's, you know, well, you know, and then see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Hopefully that
Love
was
it.
helpful. All right.
Yeah. No, that was helpful.
Good luck with law school.
Yeah.
He's way more.
Thank you.
That's way more important than him right now.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
All right.
All right. Take
Thank you
care.
so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
How's it going?
Hi, my name is Amber, and I'm 24 years old, and I'm from Washington, D.C.
How can I help, Amber?
Okay, so the first thing, so I've had this best friend. You can call her Ashley. She's been my best friend since 2015, since I was a freshman in college. And so when we were sophomores in 2016, she met this guy, and they started dating. And he, after like 6 months into the relationship, he started becoming like showing some abusive tendencies, like, which is mostly just like yelling and things like that. And kind of like controlling her. Like, for example, when I first met her, she loved like wearing shorts and like going out and like just going out with us. And then when she met him, she like totally stopped wearing shorts, like long pants, long sleeves only, and like didn't go out with us anymore, you know?
That's a very specific change. Like we're like,
yeah, it was rooted in like a religion kind of. And
Okay.
she even converted her religion to be his religion.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. How old's your friend?
She is 24 as well.
Okay. How old is he?
And he is also 24.
Okay.
So that was like in college. And then obviously the whole time we were always like, leave this guy. And like, because I always was like, you should leave him. He didn't like me or her friends like very much at all.
Yeah,
right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So this like progressed like even outside of college. So now like we've graduated and stuff, and she like lives in her own apartment, and like it started becoming like physical violence, you know, where he has like choked her and like thrown wine bottles at her, and like she has like bruises on her legs, and like he broke her TV just in an argument. And he like one time they had sushi dinner, and he like got mad at her because so he like kind of gained weight, and she was like jokingly like, why don't we like go to the gym together? And he got so mad at her that he like threw the sushi all around her room. And like I came over the next day and I saw like soy sauce all over her walls and on her blinds and stuff, you know? And she like continues to stay with him, like God knows why. And he like broke her TV and like broke her like bar stools, like heavy bar stools, like broke every cup in her house. Whatever. So after this like episode where he like broke everything in her house, she stopped talking to him like for about 6 months or so, like blocked him on everything except Instagram to like keep that line of connection or whatever. And then one day in June 2021, she just blocked me and our third friend of the group on like all social media platforms. Right. And around that same time, like in June, she also moved apartments. She also lives in Washington, D.C., like near me. And we also went to college there. So we all stayed in the area. So she moved apartments, and I had no idea what apartment she lived in. Right. And like she stopped, like, I have no idea. So now it's been like 6 months, and obviously I'm like super pissed because I'm like, wow, like this is how you treat your friend, you know, like, I don't know. I was trying to be there for you, and like you just blocked me on everything and like left me for a guy who like throws your things around, like beats the shit out of you. Like what? But whatever, I guess. And then, so I've been like, I moved on with my life, right? I've been like dating in DC now. And I went on a date with this guy who was like the same like ethnic background as me. And so like our community is very small. And so I like asked him, we were just like talking about people we knew in common. And I asked him like if he knew that girl's boyfriend, because he's the same ethnicity as me also. So I was like, oh, like, do you know, like, call him Sean. I was like, do you know Sean? And he was like, yeah, I do know Sean. And I was like, oh my God, like what? Like, how do you know him? And he goes, well, his girlfriend lives in my building. And I was like, oh my God. Like, so he was like, yeah, she lives on the same floor as me, like apartment this is my building. So now I like know where she lives now, right? And I'm kind of like, what do I do with this information? Like, do I go try to talk to her? Do I go try to find, like, do I, like, again, like I've tried to save her from this relationship so many times.
Yeah.
And part of me wants to just like give up because like she's an adult and she made this decision to cut me out of her life, you know? And like that friendship is a two-way street. But at the same time, I'm like, I know she's like brainwashed by this guy.
Yeah. What access do you have to her parents?
Okay, so after he broke her TV and everything, we have a third friend. The third friend called her mom and was like, you need to get her out of this. And her mom like they are from New York. She comes down from New York to DC and like, I guess gave her a talking to, like, I don't know. She like saw her trashed apartment, you know, like the mom like surprised her and came and like saw her apartment all messed up. And I think like now she just doesn't tell her parents that she's still with him. Like, I don't know. But her parents like know that he's a bad guy. And yeah.
It's a tragic story. I mean, I'm so sorry that this is going on. I'm sorry for your friend. I think as challenging as it is, I think you need to try to not make this about you. And I'm
right.
I get that you're not, but you know, you made a couple comments about like, I've been your friend and this is how you treat your friend. And clearly your friend is in an abusive relationship. You think she's being brainwashed. I don't know why she's choosing to do this because, you know, and it's a very touchy conversation too. And I've actually talked with some experts about this, trying to understand, because there'll be a lot of, you know, people will say, it's not that easy to get out of an abusive relationship. You know, there's these patterns of manipulation, and there's a lot of truth to that. But even like talking to some experts, it's just like, I think people also, you know, they have to try to hold themselves accountable. And, you know, like, is your friend truly stuck, right? Like, clearly you were talking to her. She has her parents. Like, what is this hook this guy has? I don't know what that is, you know? Because sometimes people would have to try to, you know, what he has done is isolate, you know, like what he's now it's even scarier, right? Because before you guys were friends, right? In a true abusive relationship, and again, I'm not an expert, so I'm communicating what I've learned from people and talk to experts, but as always, people should follow up with an expert when it comes to this stuff. But it's my understanding in these situations that what a true abuser will do is what this guy has done is remove them from the equation of support. You know, they again, like a true gaslighter, for example, will not only gaslight them and manipulate them, but make them feel like everyone else is someone, like he has successfully, it's seeming like, got in her head so that she doesn't trust you or even her mom or whatever. And then now when he's abusing her, she has nowhere to go because he has successfully manipulated her into not trusting you or her friend, right? And that's such a sad situation. And so that's why I, you know, try to give her empathy in the sense that, you know, I don't think she realizes when you say why is she choosing this abuser over this friendship, my guess is she doesn't think she's doing that, you know? And I don't know what she's thinking, and I don't know why she's thinking it or what he's done to successfully do that, but that's what it sounds like the way you're describing it to me, right? Boy, I mean, again, I think you should talk to some experts, have, you know, get in a therapist's opinion on that. I just think what you have to try to do is whenever you do talk or see her, or even when you're not talking to her, like just come from a place of love and support, not from a place of trying to be right or convince her. You know, you will, no matter what, you will always be there for her if she wants you around. It sounds like you've tried to speak up and things like that. As long as you think you're in a safe place, I mean, you can certainly try to knock on her door, you know, as long as you're safe, right? And I don't know if I would do it alone. You know, I don't know where this guy is and if he's truly that bad. Like it's, you know, it could be dangerous for you. But yeah, I wouldn't ever give up on her. You know, even if she's given up on herself. You know, I think that's something we have to try to do with people we care about. Have you talked to this girl? Like I would continue to, if you're really concerned, keep reaching out to this girl's parents. Like try to find out what's going on.
Right,
like
right.
what do they
My
know?
thing, yeah, like what do they know? But also my thing is like, what if I don't know what's in her head, right? Like what if like he's made her hate me? And I don't want to like poke the bear. Like what if like she knows, like she's my best friend. She knows so much about me. You know? Like I'm not trying to like have something blow up back in my face in that way either. That's why I like don't
blow up in your face. What do you mean?
I don't know. She like just knows a lot about me, you know.
The guys you've dated, like some shit you've done.
Yeah.
Like what's
I guess,
the worst thing you've done?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it on this whole podcast.
It's anonymous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it that bad? I guess. Have you? Are we talking crimes here?
No, I never like committed murder or anything. No, but like I don't know. I've like thought about talking to her mom and stuff, but it just seems like overstepping to me. But I guess like.
I mean, again, I'm only basing on what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're describing a situation where your friend's well-being seems to be in legitimate danger.
Yeah, but at the same, and then what also hurt me is like when the guy that I met who like lives in her building, he was like, yeah, like I always see her like with him, and like they're like grilling on the roof, and she's always walking down to Whole Foods and stuff, and it's just like she seems to be like living her life like perfectly fine, like without me and our third friend, you know. So I don't know. I tried to like get that guy to like invite them out, and then I would like see them out maybe, just so I could just talk to her, like just have access to her without like, you know, just in a public space and stuff. But it just hasn't, like scheduling hasn't worked out yet.
It's tough.
Yeah. So
I mean, chances are this guy hasn't like dramatically changed, and he's like a reformed person, right? And maybe things seem good. You know, I would imagine he could fake it for a period of time. You know, things she could be thinking things are really good now because he hasn't lost his temper recently, and she's cut you off because she's embarrassed and she knows what he has done, and I don't know, but I guess the question you have to ask yourself is, how would you feel if something bad happens to her? You know?
Yeah, I would feel awful, of course.
So.
But I mean, it's not like it doesn't. I don't know. I don't want to give up on her, but then also I know it's like kind of making it about me. But I do feel hurt that she just like has cut me off.
I think you need to let that go.
Yeah.
Because if she is in fact a real victim, and it sounds like she is, then she is actually being like gaslit and manipulated, and she has been brainwashed, and so. Yeah, she's making choices. I get that. She's not in like, you know what I'm saying? Like at some point she chose to cut you off, and, you know, I don't know what he had over her. It sounds pretty extreme to make the choices she did, but at some point she actively, you know, her desire to make it work with this guy. I don't know, you know, maybe she thought to herself, I converted my religion. I have to make this.
Yeah.
I don't know what she told herself to make it seem like she had to make this choice, and part of it was her choice, but clearly she is being victimized here, and so I would it's not going to do you any good to be right in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't add any value to you to be right or to be justified to feel sad about. It's yes, you can feel sad that the friendship has suffered. And you can feel sad about that, but I don't know if you should make it about your loss over her safety. And I would challenge yourself to focus on her safety rather than your loss, because you have other friends. right? And you're going to be fine either way. You could be sad about it. But like if this situation with her goes poorly, that could be something that you can't get back. So I would challenge yourself to focus on her safety more than anything. And then, yeah, I mean, I guess at some point you can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. I get that. But like, do everything you can. Reach out to her. Like, I don't know what this girl has over you. It can't be like, what's the bad? A rumor? I don't know. I've just, maybe you cheat on some guy. I don't know. Like, it's not that bad. She talks some shit, whatever.
That's my thing. I'm like, I'm like, oh, should I just like, I thought about sending her like a letter or something. Like, I don't know, like, because I only know her apartment number now, you know. And like, I mean, she lives like 20 minutes away from me. So I could like show up.
You know, if I were you, what I would do if I were you in her position, I would get a hold of her family and talk to their family like you're talking to me. Just be like, she's your daughter. I don't know. I don't know what you guys know, but like, and I know you saw this, but are you aware of all this stuff? All I'm saying is like, if she never talks to me again, that's fine. But I think your daughter's in real danger. And, you know, and so, you know what I'm saying? You could do that. And maybe
but they know. That's the thing. They know. They know. And they just like,
I don't know.
Yeah, her mom saw her trash apartment and we told her like, this guy trashed her apartment, you know, like they know. And she's an only child. Like, I don't know if that helps add to the story, but like so her parents, I feel like just like let her, like they just want her to like be happy in the way that she thinks is happy, you know?
Yeah.
So
some, you know, parents can have a hard, I know of a situation, it's not like this with physical abuse, but you know, I know someone who's being catfished. And it's so obvious that they're being catfished to everyone. And the glue's the mom. But the mom is so afraid of like losing her and disappointing her and me trying to articulate the seriousness of this relationship. That's not just about her being catfished, that she could be in real danger. You don't know that, you know, but it's tough. I mean, parents like, you know, with only and parents can be afraid of making, you know, and kids can be so manipulative to their parents, you know? And kids can be abusive to their parents and how they communicate, to the point where parents are so afraid, especially when it's an adulthood, of standing up to their kids for fear that their kids will cut them off, you know? And maybe she's done that. You know, I don't know. But it's a sad situation. I wish I had better answers because there is only so much you can do, but just put it this way. What I think you should do is everything you think you can do at the risk of some rumors being told about you, at the risk of you looking bad, at the risk, you know what I'm saying? Take your selfish needs out of the equation. And I know I'm not trying to call you selfish, but your human response to this situation of feeling hurt or wronged, take that out of this equation and do everything you think is in your power to help your friend. And it may not work, but at least you will feel like you've done everything you could, even if it meant like putting yourself at a slight disadvantage. I don't think you should put yourself at risk of being hurt. Like, you know, like, I don't think you put your safety, you should focus on your safety. I think you get what I'm saying. But minus your safety, you know, and prioritizing your safety, I think you should set yourself your desire to be right or validated below her safety, if that makes sense. And whatever that means, that's what you should do.
Okay.
And maybe get some help from a professional therapist, maybe some ideas and some guidance, but you can only do so much.
Okay, and if we have time, I just have one more question. It's really short though. Okay, so this is about me. Like in about a year ago, I was dating this guy. We dated for about a year. And we were like in love and everything. It was amazing. And then we ended up breaking up in October 2020 because of long distance. Because he was in New York and I was in DC, and like we were separated because of COVID, and it was really hard. after the breakup in October 2020, we like kind of continued talking a little bit after the breakup. And then I went to New York in February 2021, so this February. I went to New York to go see him. And then it was really great. Like we just had a great catch up, and he was like, I still love you. And I was like, I still love you. Like, you know, that stuff. But we didn't get back together because the reason that we broke up like wasn't resolved, you know, like we were still going to be long distance, still wasn't going to work. And so, and then after that, I was like, I tried to move on, but I always kind of had him in the back of my mind, you know, and I was like trying to just like, I always thought that like in the end we would end up together. Like, cause I was always going to plan, I was away in DC cause I was in grad school and I was going to move back to New York eventually. Whatever. And so I always thought like, oh, he's going to grow up and become better. And I'm going to grow up and become better and we'll get back together eventually. But then I found out in August 2021, he got married.
Okay.
And yeah. And so he's like the same ethnicity and religion as me. And like in our culture, it's like very like arranged marriage is very common. And like his, like considering his family
Sure.
and like their faith and stuff, like I'm 100% sure it was an arranged marriage, but I'm just like shocked that like 6 months after you were telling me you loved me, you got married, you know?
I mean, I don't know much about arranged marriages, but I don't know if arranged marriages care all that much about what they might have said to someone else.
Yeah, but they're not like always forced, right? Like you like for him, it definitely wasn't forced. Like he chose. He was like, I want to do this, and he's 25. He's a 25-year-old man, single, living in New York. I was like, what is going on? So anyway, my question is, like, I mean, like, I'm mostly just like shocked, right? Like I wasn't really sad because after, you know, being broken up for 6 months, I could say like I'm not in love with him anymore, but I wasn't like ready to get married to someone else, you know? And so I guess like why would he do that? Like, why would someone like just choose to do that? Like, I'm just like shocked, honestly.
Yeah, I get the shock. A lot of reasons why. I mean, again, could be arranged. He might have met someone he really likes. 6 months might feel like nothing to you, and people can move on faster. You've probably heard me talk about this on other podcasts. Like, we have a way of trying to validate the relationship that's ended, you know, which is just a waste of our time. You know, nothing he's doing now or what you're doing now has anything to do with what that relationship meant when it was happening. And yeah, you broke up and you both said you love each other. And that was probably genuine and true. You loved them as a human being, but maybe didn't love the relationship. You can love someone as a human being and recognize that as much as I wish we could make it work, we can't make it work. I have some non-negotiables and you have some non-negotiables that don't line up, but as a human, I love you. Okay, that's genuine. And maybe he found someone that was more in line, not only with someone he loved, but like with what he wanted in a relationship, you know? So after the shock wears off, I think you will just move on and accept it. And he has kind of remnants of a one that's got away for you, but it got away for a reason. This assumption that he was going to grow up, or you know, people will grow and change, but it's more likely that as you grow as individuals, you will grow further apart. You know, if you guys never broke up, you would still keep growing. And there's a good chance as being in a couple that you would grow together. But once you break up, you're both going to grow, but it's more likely you're going to grow apart and get further away from each other rather than closer together. I mean, it's optimistically hopeful to hope that you would, as individuals, grow together and stand up together, but like that's not realistic. And that's kind of what happened, you know. So you have to let go of the idea that you were never going to be together. And the fact that he got married in 6 months doesn't make it, you know, it could have been 6 years. It was always going to be more likely that you grew further away apart than together. And so it's not as surprising as it feels. It's a little fresh and a little raw. And it wasn't too long ago that you guys said those things, but people say things all the time. And he could have meant it, but didn't mean that you guys should end up together as a result of expressing words of love to each other. Sorry. It's probably not what you want to hear, but you will.
No, it is what I wanted to hear. And that's why and this is something I thought about writing in about this specific thing a while ago. And I don't know, I just no, I already know the answer. And I don't know, I listen to your podcast so much. So I was like, I already know what Nick is going to say.
All right,
but thank you for your time.
Happy to help. I appreciate you listening. All right. Well, I hope your friend's okay, and I think you're.
I'm definitely. I'm
going
to
to
reach
be
out to her
fine
for sure
with your relationship. But just,
thank you.
Just gotta mourn a little bit and let it go, and I don't let it. Especially the arranged marriage. If I get that he had a choice, but there is an element of an arranged marriage. There, people are taking leaps of faith,
right?
And that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And you broke up.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow's Bachelor Recap with the wonderful Mariel Milano. And on Wednesday, Megan Trainor and her brother Ryan Trainor join us for a Going Deeper interview. If you want Megan Trainor to mediate your relationship, send your questions in at asknick@castme.com. Cast with a K. See you tomorrow.
You're crazy.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos like our Tuesday Bachelor Recaps and Wednesday Celebrity and Expert Interviews. See you next time.